It is Super Draco 380, and we're back for stage 40 of Build the Battleship Bismarck. Today we're going to be doing the fire control post details and a searchlight deck. So first things first, we're going to get parts out of the container. Alright, so we have some photo edge parts, plastic parts, parts on sprues, the deck plate, and a LED and a wire. So first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to put a sticker on the wire for the LED. So first thing we're going to do is liberate it from the tie. Then we're going to put this sticker on it that reads B9. So then next we're going to need the base of the searchlight, number 3 on this sprue, and we're going to feed the cable through it. So as we can see, the plug will not fit through, so you got to stick the LED through. And you want to make sure the LED is coming up through the bottom instead of sticking the plug down through. So it'll fit like that. So then we're going to take the sprue and cut the searchlight body off, and then we're going to insert the searchlight glass into the body. Now that that's installed, we're going to stick the LED into the searchlight. There's a cutout for the wire, and then wait a minute. Oh no, I'm getting ahead of myself. I need the back plate. So the back plate is on the sprue as number 2. So the LED is going to fit into the back plate like so. Now you want the light on the LED, and make sure your light on your LED is pointing upward. Then we're going to apply some super glue to the outside of the back plate and insert it into the searchlight. And we're going to match up the wire with the notch in the searchlight itself. So then next we're going to take the searchlight support number 5 off the sprue and attach that to the frame. Basically there's 2 pegs that are going to fit into 2 holes onto the searchlight base. And you want the arm of it going up over the top of the searchlight since the wire is coming out the bottom. So that's one side and that's the other. And there it is. So next we're going to take the headlight arm part 6, and then the second part of the headlight arm part 4, we're going to cut those from the sprue and then fit those over the wire. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply some glue to these pegs onto the searchlight or the headlight arm. So then you're going to fit this to the searchlight. You can see there's a little cutout for the wire. And then we're going to fit that together over the searchlight, being careful not to get any glue on the wire itself. And so with that, we're going to scoot it all the way to the top, and it's going to plug into the bottom of the searchlight support. So we're going to put some glue on that peg at the top. Now in the video right here, I make a mistake. I actually don't put enough glue on there to hold it together. The other thing I'll say now that I learned from this is I think in the long run you do yourself a service to, once you get this searchlight built, to let the glue set for not an hour but around 20 to 30 minutes depending on your temperature, so that the searchlight is much more solid. And so then with that on, you're just going to slide the first off, you're going to check the fit by sliding the searchlight base up and pegging it onto the square section at the bottom of the support arm. Well, after checking the fit, then obviously we're going to glue it in place. And I made the same mistake here. I was very sparing with the glue because I didn't want it to leak out and get all over the wire. So when I build future searchlights, I'm probably going to go a little heavier on glue, and like I said, I'm going to probably take some time and let them set before continuing the build. So then you slide the backlight or the plate up over the square. Alright, and then we're going to thread the LED wire through the big hole on this deck plate. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take the actual deck itself, and it wants you to spot some glue on there, and you can see the channel cut out for that cable to go through. So as we can see, I'm just lightly putting some glue, including putting some on the base of the pegs, so when they go through that they'll stick together. So then and this is a little tricky when you've only got two hands. So what you're going to do is you're going to fit that wire into the channel, and then the searchlight is going to sit onto that peg that goes through the decking. And so then you'll get the whole thing down and fit the searchlight. Alright, and so this locker structure is going to fit behind the searchlight, so you're just going to dot some glue into those two holes. And the lockers, there's really only one way they can fit. So then we're going to take the two halves of the upper superstructure, and those just are going to peg together. So first thing we want to do is check our fit. And they're fitting pretty good, so we're going to apply some glue to the pegs. And we just fit it together like so. And you should want to make sure it's fit all the way and minimize gapping. Now using some thin cement or something, you can fill those gaps in pretty easily. I'm not that bothered. So next we're going to take this ladder and it's going to peg into those 4 holes. So we're going to drop some glue into each hole. So the ladder will just attach like so. So then next we're going to fit the deck into the through the upper superstructure through that slot. So first thing we're going to do is we just want to fit the plug and the cable in there. There's a slightly wider opening there. Alright, so we're going to apply some glue to the deck right here to this piece that's going to go inside that section of superstructure. And so we're just going to slide them together. Make sure that cord is or wire's out of the way and slide it all the way in. And just holding that till the glue sets, and there we go. So next we're going to be doing some details for the foretop fire control post. So the first thing is we're going to bring in the radar assembly from 37. And we've got these 2 pre-bent sections. Now this one is going to fit onto the, I guess you'd say quote unquote, front of the radar. And it has 2 little ladders on each side. So off frame, or never mind, we're just going to drop glue into these holes on each side. Now my radar is a bit crooked from when we did our test to make sure it could spin properly. So you want that center bar going in between the 2 holes, slightly above the lower hole and farther from the upper hole. And there. And you do want that one piece sticking up going upwards from that central structure. So then this one is going to go around the back, and you want the coil section on the left side, so if it's perfectly straight, this would be on the port side. And then that long arm is going to come around it and clip into the holes on the other side. So we'll fit the one side because we'll be able to pivot on it before we clip in the other. And there we go. And that's the coil in. And I wonder if this is a cooling coil or what. So then next, we've got two sets of rails on the metal sprue. So we're going to extract those and attach those to the radar arms. And we're just going to jump ahead to where they're off the sprue, because we've seen me remove a bunch of these already, and I don't think we need to see it again. Okay, so this has 3 pegs, 2 in the top and then a third one on the bottom. So we're going to drop some glue into those holes and fit in the rail. Now mine is a little bent, so I'm going to bring in my duckbill pliers and squeeze that as a little press and use that to work some of the bend out. So basically the strategy I concoct is I want to get the rear holes in, and then just rotate it around until the third hole pegs in. And you just want to make sure it's nice and straight, and that's the rail on the one side. So then we're going to do the same thing on the other side for the other rail. Alright, the last thing we're going to do is we got 4 ZAG artillery guidance devices. Those are going to fit into those 4 holes on the deck. They all fit in the same configuration as shown by the instructions. So once we get that in, we're going to wrap up. So next time we're going to be doing stage 42, because if you remember, 41 was doubled up with 39. 42 is the 6 keel section. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.